morning. Hello and welcome to this LinkedIn live chat. We're delighted to have you join us today. My name is Ricardo Morales, and I'm the Director of Community Development and Integration Services, and also overseeing our Southern Alberta Rural Initiatives right here at CCIS, or Calgary Catholic Immigration Society. CCIS is a nonprofit, non-denominational agency committed to making immigration a positive experience for refugees, immigrants, and the entire community. We offer over about 95 programs in 18 locations. We like to say that the locations around Calgary is like our donut, and then we go as far west as Cochrane, as far east as Medicine Hat. Much of the work we do and the impact we have within the community would not be possible without the support and collaboration of organizations such as yourselves, committed to making our city, our province, as welcoming and as much of a home for newcomers as possible. Today, we're going to be discussing one such initiative, which again supports newcomer settlement within Calgary. We refer to this as the Calgary West Zone Support Services, or CWESS. This is a collaborative of settlement services providers, private sponsorship. We have community organizations working to ensure that vital services are accessible and are customized and address the needs of newcomers living in the Calgary West Zone. I am honored to be joined here today by Swart Lamidi. She is the CWESS coordinator and manager of partnerships and collaborations at CCIS. Dennis Smuchko, is manager of business development for newcomers at RBC, or Royal Bank of Canada. Michelle Katuku is program development officer at Hotel Les Immigrants Association. I am trying, Michelle. And Emel Maxu, Manager of Marketing and Communication at Calgary Immigrant Women's Association. And finally, Roanne Fisher, founder of immigration law firm Fisher Law. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be having this important conversation with you this morning. Now, for those of us who are joining us live, we encourage you to engage with us in this important discussion. We do have a comment section. Please post your questions to our panelists. Please feel free to ask questions and we will try to address them as best as we can. Now, to kick things off, I'll start off with Swart. Swart, could you tell our viewers this morning, tell us a little bit more about CWESS. How did it come to be? What's the objective? And what are some of the goals and aspirations of this particular initiative?
Thank you, Rick. Thank you all for joining us into this conversation. It is a pleasure to have the opportunity actually to share some of the work that has been done under the CWESS initiative in collaboration with other service providers to support newcomers who choose to settle in the West Zone of Calgary. Actually, the initiative is a part of the 2020-2025 contract agreement that Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada has designated the Calgary Catholic Immigration Society as the Calgary West facilitator. The goal of this initiative is to increase client uptake and to enhance newcomers' engagement with RCC-funded settlement services available in Calgary. An important first step in this project was therefore to conduct research to identify and confirm the primary reason why some newcomers are not accessing RCC-funded services available to them, and to generate recommendation on how settlement service providers in the West Zone can ensure that our collective offering are accessible and customized to address the unique needs of the newcomers population living in the West Zone of Calgary.
Thank you, Swart.
Yeah.
Tell us, why do you think an initiative like this is critical or vital for newcomers?
Actually, it's because we noticed how the West Zone communities are growing, and also we see the growth of the population, the West Zone, especially expanding communities as immigrants spread out to different sectors, especially with the recent census data that indicate a high number of immigrants and refugees has been settling in neighborhood across Calgary, shows that not all of them are getting benefit of the services that already available for them and funded by government. Uh, this will cause kind of disconnection between newcomers and service providers. The mandate of this project to have this connection and to make those services are more visible out there for the population, for the newcomers in general.
Thanks a lot, Swat. And now I want to turn this attention to Dennis. Dennis, I want to take a look at how business companies like yourselves are supporting newcomer settlement within the West Zone. Now, as some people may not know, that our RBC has been a great supporter of CCIS initiatives, including funding our Networking for Success program, which has assisted thousands of newcomers for the past how many years? 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years. And this is really assisting them in the labor market in Calgary. Now, a few years back, I think RBC introduced a very innovative banking concept. This was called the meeting place, correct? Now,
Yes.
this is a bit unconventional, I would say, and it supports newcomers with products and services that go simply beyond just, having a bank account. Dennis, tell our viewers some more details about this concept. How's this concept working? How is it successful? And how is it supporting newcomers?
Thank you, Rick, for the question, and thanks for having me here today. Um, I'll answer your first question. It's been 8 years, I believe, since RBC has been supporting CCAS. And in regards to the meeting place, I think at some point of time, our head office realized that your traditional banker in a branch is like a jack of all trades, but sometimes that is a disadvantage because you cannot know everything in a specific area, and so that's where the concept of meeting place was introduced. I believe that's been about 6 years now, when we started first with just students and student demographic, and further went into the newcomer area. And I was lucky, I guess, to be the first person in Calgary of the meeting place here. And we've been sharing the office with CCAS Space. And the whole idea of this concept is to take that extra time that not every branch will have, and help every newcomer that comes through the door of CCAS or ours. I guess it's a shared door, and support them regardless where they bank. Yes, we are a bank. We do provide banking services, and on that part, we can spend more time, as I mentioned, and we, I guess, more specialized team when we know everything, every kind of product and service, and every in and out that is within RBC. So again, that's our specialty. But overall, I think the very first thing that a newcomer can experience when they walk through our door, virtually or in person, is a warm welcome. We truly care about their experience. Most of us, as a matter of fact, all my team members, we are newcomers to Canada. We've been through that experience, through that journey, and we understand that it takes much more than just opening the bank account. So again, we are there just to start a dialogue and check on some of the important aspects of the newcomer journey. And further, again, having such a great partner as CCAS, but we're not limited to that. We work with most of immigration agencies. We're happy to refer our clients, or just, again, anyone who comes through our door, when we identify that need and we know that we are not the expert of it. So that's why being part of CWESS is important for us, because it's truly what we stand for. We want to be that connector within the community and just stretch further beyond banking.
Thank you, Dennis. I was particularly intrigued to hear you say that it's more than just opening a bank account. The concept of a meeting place where you could meet and discuss the needs of newcomers in addition to some of their banking and financial needs, I think is virtually important when you think about how you make this connection along with a settlement service provider. Speaking of settlement service providers, Emil, I want you to talk a little bit about your organization, CWESS. I know that you provide well over 50 programs to immigrant, females and girls and families in terms of settlement, language, and employment. Tell us a little bit about some of the specialized programs that you have geared towards this particular sector of the immigrant population.
Thank you, Ricardo. Thanks for that question, and thanks for having me as a representative of CWESS here today. So I'm not sure if all of you or many of you know, but CWESS is actually the largest national gender-focused settlement agency. And primarily all of our services can be considered specialized services to address the various needs of immigrant women and their families. So a few programs that I think are really great that we have.
We may have lost Emil someplace in this. I apologize, folks. She's back. Thank you, Emil. We lost you for a second. But I'm glad we have you back.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you clearly. These things
Wonderful.
happen on live TV, live chat. So continue, please.
So back to what I was mentioning, the hospitality training for immigrant women is geared towards providing immigrant women with the tools necessary to thrive in the hospitality sectors. So that's a 12-week program. It's to enhance employability skills in the hospitality and tourism industry, and it has a 4-week work placement. We also have a pre-employment skills program, which is very popular. In that program, we assist immigrant women in identifying their transferable skills, and we help them obtain success in their job search journey. So helping them with the tools necessary to get them workforce ready, which is things like one-on-one employment counseling, employment workshops, mock interview sessions, resume critique clinics, computer training, accounting software training. So the list goes on in the types of supports we provide in that program. And then we also have the provincial online link model. We understand that accessibility is very, very important for newcomers and immigrants. So providing link and language training online increases that reach for us, and it equips us better to help as many newcomers and immigrants who do need that service. And we also have link for clients with disabilities as well. And one of my personal favorites, Immigrant Women's Business Circle. So that project particularly equips immigrant women with the necessary tools to start, manage, and grow a business. So within that program, participants undergo business development training, and that includes, but is not limited to, creating business plans, learning to navigate systems, developing partnerships, and accessing financing.
Emil, thank you so much for the comprehensive overview. Now, what I find intriguing and possibly for our viewers as well is, how do you find your particular clients, which is very specialized? It's a female client. How do you find their rate of success in having a specialized service geared towards specifically females?
So for us, our general goal is to try to equip immigrant women and empower them to succeed and understand that their dreams are achievable and within reach. So what's great about CWESS being gender focused is we do have immigrant women who are youth all the way to seniors, and every newcomer has different goals when it comes to integration and settlement. So the success for us is we ensure that our program delivery is consistent, it is effective, they're getting their questions answered and their needs met. And the success is, on behalf of our clients, is what they determine to be valuable for them. So we just make sure we're accessible, we're within reach, and we're here to help them every step of the way.
Thanks a lot, Emil. And we'll switch over to Rowan. Rowan, your law firm, Fisher Law, provides comprehensive refugee and immigration legal services for those already in or looking to come to Canada. Could you kindly elaborate on these services and tell us a bit more as to how they contribute to the successful integration and settlement of newcomers in Canada?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ricardo, for hosting today. And for everyone here, it's great to see you all, and welcome to everyone joining us for this chat. Our goal at Fisher Law is really simple. It's very direct. Our goal is to assist all newcomers really throughout the entire immigration process, from the beginning of their journey to citizenship. That's what we want. We want a long-term relationship with our clients. And we do this through, of course, our client work at Fisher Law as lawyers, but also through our work supporting the CCIS, CWESS, CFN, and many other resettlement teams across the province. We also try and reach out through our pro bono clinics in the same way, because we feel, I guess, Fisher Law is really the caretaker of all newcomers, and we take that role to heart. Every one of our lawyers is an immigrant themselves, and we understand firsthand how confusing and frustrating and overwhelming immigration procedures can be. So really, from first instance applications to transitioning from temporary residence to permanent residence to dealing with serious ineligibility, inadmissibility, or refusals, reuniting families through sponsorship, we're here for someone's entire immigration situation. And I think this really contributes to settlement and integration for newcomers by providing like a stability and a trustworthy source for information and legal support and access to resources. We can direct everyone we encounter to the amazing organizations that we work with and to the teams that we workshop with and train all the time. Clients know they can reach out anytime with questions and concerns. They have a designated lawyer that knows them, knows their family, knows their situation. And I think what we provide really is peace of mind and security during a really stressful governmental process, and really help as many people as possible to settle into their new home here in Canada.
Thanks a lot, Roy. And undoubtedly, when someone is settling into a new country and faced with enormous barrage of different barriers and dealing with legal issues, it's comforting to know that a law firm like yours is there to provide the necessary help. Now, going to Michelle. Michelle, you offer a very specialized service, or your organization. How large would you say is the French-speaking immigrant population in Calgary? And in addition to that, what services does PUA provide to help them meet their particular settlement needs?
Thank you again, Ricardo, for this opportunity. So in Alberta in general, we know that it's an Anglophone province, but it's a growing Francophone community there. So according to the statistic for 2021, we have at least 2.4% of the Francophone population. But here in Calgary, we have 7.3% people who speak French. And among them, we have a lot of immigrants. So the Francophone community is very diverse. So among those Francophone ones, we have 50% are coming from Africa, 23% are coming for Europe, and 13% have come for Asia. So, and the remaining one is very miscellaneous. So since 2018, Calgary have been one of the 14 welcoming Francophone community in Canada. So just to say that here, yes, yeah, we are an Anglophone province, but we have a very growing population. Since last year, in 2020, we received a lot of Francophone immigrants, and among them we have 18% of Cameroon people and North African people. So since last year, in 2022, we have seen very growing percentage of people who are coming Francophone people, and most of them immigrants. So for us to meet those the answer, the needs. So we have different programs that we offer at PIA, but I'll need just to say just some of them. We have the CWESS program, that is the settlement worker in school. So we offer that for 8 Francophone programs, 7 Francophone programs here in Calgary, and 1 in Calgary. So they are there to facilitate the integration for the newcomer student and their parent. So they are like a bridge to school and to the community, so that they can build a sense of connection with the school, with the community, to have some referral to have some good information. We are giving them good information. And we have also after school program, as the name said, after school program. So it's extracurricular activities, so that the kids, the newcomers, they can develop social integration very easily throughout different activities that we offered. We have also for the youth, the Francophone Youth Center. This is for the teenager, 12 and up. So they can have a free space where they can express themselves, they can do things, they can learn how to be responsible, the leadership, to give back to the community, to be involved to the community. For the women who have the women program, we offer that because you know that women have the specific needs for them. So we are there to support them into the integration and to break the isolation as well, to empower them, to equip them with good information. And we have also the short counseling. We know that, as Juan was saying, it's very, very difficult time for newcomers to come, and more of them because they know how to speak English. So they are very stressed. So we have that counseling, so they can be very much accompanied with the difficulties and to assess the service very easily. And the last one, but not the last one, but because I'm just keeping up everything, the community connection. So we allow our newcomers to be in connection, to interact with the members of the community as well, through different activities, through different services, so they cannot just be alone, but they can also, reach other people and to connect with the member of the community, to build that sense of belonging, so that they can they can have that integration very easily. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Michelle. Merci beaucoup. I think it's so critical when we listen to the specialized services that newcomers coming into Calgary could benefit from each one of these organizations so far, in all the different components that we have heard. Now I'm coming back to you, Dennis. And Dennis, in your vast experience in working at RBC, what are some of the common concerns or questions, and these are of a financial nature, that are often raised by newcomers? And how does RBC address some of these concerns or questions?
Thank you, Rick, for the question. I would break it into two parts, because the first one is, I'd say, just lack of education sometimes, or just a personal experience with some banking products. It's I guess banking is quite different around the world. Even coming from Ukraine to Canada, I had to readjust, although there are a lot of similarities. But there are also quite a bit of differences. And not knowing the differences, you can damage yourself financially in the long run. So overall, our RBC and the meeting place here, we're trying to be a financial literacy partner for the community organizations, and we do that through different financial literacy workshops or one-on-one sessions. So that I guess that's one of our objectives, and that's definitely a big concern on the newcomer side of things. Even when the products or services are enough, not all the time the newcomers are able to use them right. But then the other part, I'd say, is lending and building the credit. It's an important aspect, because not all newcomers who come to Canada are very prepared financially. And for a lot of them, they're looking for this financial aid. And sometimes the government is not able to support them because of different type of program that they came through. And banking in Canada overall, we are quite conservative, as you probably all know. And it's sometimes quite difficult to work with the bank because we have a lot of restrictions and regulations. But I'm really proud to say that within RBC, we have now a separate team in head office, and it's just dedicated to work with newcomer clients on every aspect, starting from the operations, policies, products, services. And those guys, most of them are newcomers to Canada, and they get things done. I want to say that, and I know it's sort of like bragging in terms of the products, but it just, for the big organization, sometimes it's hard to change things quickly. But RBC has done that with credit cards. We understood that credit history is really not going to be there, but we still want to support newcomers. So we made that process easier, and I think about 2 years ago we have started offering credit cards on a much more simplified process. With that, we try to always educate our clients about the importance of credit history and how to use it to not damage yourself, because it is an important part. I'd say it's question number one. And so far, I think most of our clients are doing a good job. I'd say some of them have better credit score than I do, and they've been in Canada just for a few years. So that is a personal success story. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dennis. And folks, we taken a look. We did an overview of what these organizations all do. Now we're looking at some of the specifics, some of the issues that newcomers may face, and how each organization work in their own unique ways to help newcomers settle. We'll move across to Emil. Emil, we know that all newcomers do face a certain amount of barriers, but in particular, what are some of the key barriers that immigrant women face when they come to settling into Calgary? And what exactly does CWESS do to help alleviate some of these barriers and make it easier for women to overcome?
Thanks, Ricardo. So as we know, immigrant individuals are multivariate, and immigrant women face a multitude of barriers and oftentimes simultaneously. From experiencing language barriers to finding employment, access to childcare, and sometimes, unfortunately, family violence as well. The list is quite long, and it's important for us to provide supports that address each of these barriers to ensure that they're successfully integrating. So one huge barrier for a lot of women that they do express when they walk through our doors is childcare. And childcare is often a huge barrier for many immigrant women looking to either enter the workforce or even get language services. So CWESS does provide childcare to women enrolled in our programs. And so I feel that that's a great benefit for many of the women that walk through our doors. As mentioned earlier, we also have a variety of programs ranging from employment bridging, language, entrepreneurship, and we even provide supports for youths and seniors. So we have counseling supports for individuals who don't know where to get those counseling supports and don't know the costs associated. So the best part is obviously all these services are free. And a lot of immigrants don't really understand the concept of social services and not-for-profit, depending on where they come from. So they're usually very pleasantly surprised to figure out, okay, I do have access to supports and I don't have to leverage any of my income towards them, because a lot of immigrants are usually underemployed or underserved in terms of employment and finances, simply because they don't know what access they have to different resources. And another barrier for many immigrant women and children is family violence. And finding housing in times of domestic affliction is oftentimes really hard. So CWESS has Find Me a Home project, and it provides temporary accommodation to multivariate women, immigrant and refugee women fleeing abusive situations by providing emergency and temporary accommodation, which is a huge support. And I always say you don't know what you don't know. And an initiative like CWESS is so great because it allows for that collaboration and for us to get out there and have those conversations. Because if we're not having those face-to-face, you can advertise digitally as much as you want, but many immigrants don't always have access to those digital advertisements, or even just the more online services. They're not accessing that information. They typically have to search for it. And if you're barriered in terms of language, where do you start? What do you type in to search for the helps that you don't even know exist, right? So at CWESS, we understand that immigrant refugee women, they're multivariate, and every day we work very actively towards finding those gaps and actively filling those gaps.
Thanks a lot, Emil. And as you know, I think when you listen to all the folks, we are dealing with some of the most vulnerable sectors of our population. And part of some of the issues that are faced that you brought up, Emil, I want to switch it over now to Roanne. What are some of the most common legal challenges or complexities that newcomers face? And how does official law help the newcomers in navigating the Canadian legal system?
Sure. So I think I just want to start with commenting both when Dennis and Amal were talking about these barriers, barriers to access to information, putting the right search terms in, knowing how to access CWESS, CCIS, PIA, how to get good, reliable banking information. All that is so challenging that our role at Fisher Law, I feel it's really important that we're a hub for our clients who come to us for the legal services and are facing all the legal challenges, but also the resettlement challenges, and then need basically networks built for them. And so participating in panels like this, having these contacts, being able to refer our clients to all of you is absolutely exceptional. And that is definitely one of the challenges that lead into the legal challenges that we deal with our clients. A lot of people are surprised, I think, that arriving in Canada is just like the first step in the immigration process. The next step legally, and what we do, is helping people stay and then bring their families here. And this may sound to people who haven't gone through this process, something like, okay, you arrive in Canada and you stay. For all of us in this sector, we know that is just not the case, right? So for temporary residents, this means finding paths to permanent residency. For some, of course, this is just simply a matter of working for a year in a full-time job and applying for provincial or federal PR programs. But for many, of course, it's not that simple. There's such specific eligibility criteria for every PR program. And so newcomers need to be set up for success as early as possible. And this is really making plans. These are making resettlement plans with all the organizations and everyone here today, getting good financial advice, being sure that they're being set up for job success and career success, finding things like childcare, but also making sure that, that plan includes the legal plan to move forward on the immigration journey. So we have clients sometimes who contact us who think they're eligible, and they phone us and they're like, I want to make an application. We're like, great, let's make an application. But of course, then we look at what's going on in their lives, in their personal situation, in their travel histories, and all these different things. And we discover heartbreakingly that this is just not the case. They are not going to be able to apply at this time for the programs that think they're going to be able to apply for. So we try and make sure that we set clients up for success. And then, of course, make sure that people are following through with those and understand in many languages what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. Our team speaks Urdu and Hindi and Punjabi and Ukrainian. We work with translators all the time. We work with family members. We work with friends. We work with settlement agencies, workers, frontline workers, counselors, to try and get these legal constructs together. But then, of course, we're lawyers, and that means we're the fixer of problems. So another reason why people reach out to us is problems with their status. So we help clients overcome ineligibility matters, inadmissibility issues, and refusals. We, help people keep track of their permit dates. We help them to know how to make the application, when to make the right application, where to send the right application, like who to get it to. A lot of the time I think it was Amal who said, like, not knowing even which questions to ask, right? If you don't know the questions to ask, how are you going to get this information? So we try and be those people who can provide the answer to the questions, and make sure they get answers to these issues that could possibly lead to people running out of status, and maybe even getting those super scary emails about being removed from Canada. And then, of course, we're all human and we all make mistakes. And whether that's filling out a form or just life and circumstances, things happen that sometimes the Canadian government takes issue with. And these mistakes can have really a serious impact on someone's ability to stay in Canada. So when newcomers come to us with these kinds of really serious issues, we become their advocates. That's when we do our real lawyer advocacy work. We are non-judgmental. We support our clients no matter what the situation is, what's happened, or what even sometimes people feel they have done. There's a lot of guilt associated sometimes with life events. There's a lot of regret sometimes. And of course, we're dealing with a lot of trauma with people coming out of war zones, out of abuse situations. and just the impact of this stress and the problems of being able to stay in Canada. So we work to find solutions. We try and take the weight of sometimes terrible, terrible situations on our shoulders so that our clients can present their side of the story to the government really in the most compelling and effective way possible.
Yeah. Thank you, Ron. And Ron, I was really moved by you started off this discussion not only in dealing with the trauma, the experiences of newcomers, but I think you also alluded to the power of collaboration and the power not only of collaboration, but the power of effective, powerful collaboration. In that it takes a collective effort to get a collective impact.
Absolutely.
And speaking of collaboration, Michelle, I want to talk to you a little bit. You mentioned in your initial response that the section of the population that you serve are primarily in a context as a highly Anglophone population. So tell us a bit about how does your organization collaborate with other community partners in meeting the needs of your particular clientele?
Yeah, as you said it yourself, so we are here to just help our client to integrate, and we cannot do that without by working out by ourselves. So we are developing a lot of collaboration partnership with not only Francophone one, but Anglophone service provider, community agencies, ethnocultural association, or as well even religious group. So we are collaborating with them so that they can give also the complementary services that we don't give ourselves directly. So we can work together to support our client by, we are not giving like the language services. We are not giving that, but we are collaborating with immigrant services Calgary so that they can do so. We collaborate with a lot of shelters for the women who are in need. We are collaborating for food banks. So a lot of agencies and Anglophone association. We co-organize also some services with some provider services like CWA. We are doing some activities with CWA, with CCRS. We are doing a lot of co-organize a lot of services and activity together so that we can reach we can meet the need of our clients. We are also part of different platforms. So that we need to be there so that we can share our experiences, learn to each other, so that with these best practices, we can implement that to improve our own services. So we are also partake to a lot of initiative in the community so that all together we can put together like this initiative for the Calgary West Zone. So we are all together to see how we collaboratively we can impact and to respond better to our client, Francophone one or even other client. But for us is to respond to our client so that the client can better integrate. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. And folks, if you're joining us, we've been discussing the Calgary West Zone Support Services, a collaborative of settlement services providers, private corporation, and community organizations working to ensure that services are accessible, customized to meet the needs of our newcomer population in the Calgary West Zone. Folks, I'm trying to be mindful of time. It looks like we have about 3 more minutes. So a rapid round, I'm going to ask you to identify one quick success story that your organization experienced throughout the work that you're doing. So I'm going to start with Emil. One quick success. I know it's tough to come back to success.
So I'm going to just summarize it. We have a lot of clients who walk through our doors, either get supports or services through different departments, settlement, language, or employment, and even through our volunteer program to gain Canadian experience so they can enter the workforce. And I'm really happy to say that many of our clients who have come through our doors are now actually employees at CWA. They're dedicated, they're hardworking, and they have that empathetic lens to deal with the clients that come through the door this year and previous years and the coming years too.
Perfect. Thank you. Swat, one quick success.
Thank you, Rick. Actually, I would like to mention something I consider as a success story or a great achievement when I see that CCIS give opportunities to some of skilled newcomers to volunteer and use their skills to gain local experience that will open for them doors for future employment, or they end up securing position within of the organization. And we could consider this initiative as a win-win situation as we move forward. We are working on some of the key findings from this project, which is to provide local volunteers with experience and opportunities and support professionals with recognition on the recognition of overseas qualification. And I'm so happy to see so many of our volunteers are my colleagues and within the organization, which is, to me, it's a very nice things to see, given these opportunities, and see those skills are used to help newcomers who did experience same challenges and same stages of the settlement in this new country.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Dennis, one quick success in less than 30 seconds.
I'll share success of something that it was successful before the meeting place. We have a Village Square community, and the branch there has been always supporting newcomers to Canada with employment. They've been hosting joint career fairs with International Services Calgary and Center for Newcomers. And again, it's just been driven by the staff, because a lot of them understand the newcomer struggles and want to support them. Not taking credit for that, just happy that regardless the meeting place concept, we do have a lot of staff who just want to help newcomers in any form or shape they can.
Okay, Dennis, and thank you guys. Just as in respect to time, I think we'd like to offer, if there are any questions, anyone that's listening in, any comments. I can't see the question or your comments, but if someone would like to read a comment or question to address to our panelists, we will certainly take on those questions at this time. No questions? Well, I see the chat. There's a lot of comments, and so I'll invite people to just look through those comments. And certainly, people are posting some of the ways in which they have links to other services that they provide to provide support to this West Zone initiative. So thank you all, and I just want to say thanks to everyone. Thanks to all the panelists. Thank you all for joining in on us today. Special thanks to you folks who took the time in your day to be with us. If you want to learn more about the West Zone initiative, please check the link that's been provided. We'd like to remind you that at CCIS, we are committed to working with our community partners, committed to working with each and everyone who's willing to help us in our journey of helping newcomers settle in Calgary and the wider Southern Alberta community. Our contact information is provided, and stay tuned for more live presentations at LinkedIn. And once again, thank you all for your efforts and your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Great to see you. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.